Chapter 3. Locating and Reviewing the Literature. Introduction. Before planning the details of a study, researchers usually dig into the literature to find out what has been written about the topic they are interested in investigating. Both the opinions of experts in the field and other research studies are of interest. Such reading is referred to as a review of the literature. This chapter describes, in detail, the steps researchers take in conducting a literature review. The definition and value of a literature review. A literature review helps researchers learn what others have written about a topic. It also lets researchers see the results of other related studies. A detailed literature review is often required of master's and doctoral students when they design a thesis. 2. Types of sources. Researchers need to be familiar with three basic types of sources: general references, primary sources, and secondary sources, in doing a literature review. General reference tools are usually either indexes, which list the author, title, and place of publication of articles and other materials, or abstracts, which give a brief summary or annotation of various publications, as well as their author, title, and place of publication. Primary sources are publications in which researchers report the results of their investigations. Most primary source material is located in journal articles. Secondary sources refer to publications in which authors describe the work of others. The most common secondary sources in education are textbooks. Search terms are keywords or phrases researchers use to help locate relevant primary sources. 3. Steps involved in a literature search. A. Define the problem as precisely as possible. The first thing a researcher needs to do is to state the research question as specifically as possible. The question of interest should be narrowed down to a specific area of concern. A serious effort should be made to state the question so that it focuses on the specific issue for investigation. B. Look through one or two secondary sources. Once the research question has been stated in specific terms, it is a good idea to look through one or two secondary sources to get an overview of previous work that has been done on the problem. C. Select the appropriate general reference tools. After reviewing a secondary source to get a more informed overview of the problem, researchers should have a clearer idea of exactly what to investigate. At this point, it is a good idea to look again at the research question to see if it needs to be rewritten in any way to make it more focused. D. Formulate search terms. Once a general reference work has been selected, researchers need to formulate search terms, words or phrases they can use to locate primary sources. Search terms are the most important words in the problem statement. Indexes and abstracts, whether in electronic or print/paper format, are designed to present uniform access to citation information. Each citation, whether in a database, index, or abstract, contains information unique to the citation, i.e., author, title, publication date, etc. In addition, each citation is assigned vocabulary words that help categorize related articles. In most databases, the assigned vocabulary words are referred to as subject terms or subject headings, and in ERIC these terms are referred to specifically as descriptors. E. Search using general reference tools. Although there is no magic formula to follow, many researchers in education turn to library resources and other information resources available online. The database most commonly used by educational researchers is ERIC, which can be searched electronically back to 1966. Other databases include PSYCINFO, Exceptional Child Education Resources, and ProQuest Dissertations and Theses. 4. Doing a computer search. Computer searches of the literature have a number of advantages. They are fast, are fairly inexpensive, provide printouts, and enable researchers to search using more than one descriptor at a time. The steps in a traditional manual search are similar to those in a computer search, though computer searches are usually the norm. Researching the Internet should be considered, in addition to ERIC and PSYCINFO, in doing a literature search. Some of the information on the Internet is classified into indexes, which group websites together under similar categories. To obtain more specific information, search engines should be used, because they search all of the contents of a website. A. Obtain primary sources. After searching the general references, researchers will have a list of bibliographic citations. The next step is to locate each of the sources listed, then read and take notes on those relevant to the research problem. There are two major types of primary sources to be familiar with in this regard: journals and reports. V. Writing the literature review report. The literature review report consists of an introduction, the body of the review, a summary, the researcher's conclusions, and a bibliography. A literature review should include a search for relevant meta-analysis reports as well as individual studies. When a researcher does a meta-analysis, he or she averages the results of a group of selected studies to get an overall index of outcome or relationship. A. Researching the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web, WWW, is part of the Internet, a vast reservoir of information on all sorts of topics in a wide variety of areas. Prior to 1993, the Internet was barely mentioned in the research literature. Despite the fact that ERIC and, on occasion, PSYCINFO remain the databases of choice when it comes to research involving most educational topics, researching the Internet should also be considered.